Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to Reading Sprints. I am so excited to get to hang out with Leah tonight, and of course, all of you too. But me and Leah hardly ever get to see each other, so this is a special treat for us.
This is a treat. That's why we took a minute to come on.
Yes. But yeah, I'm so excited to have her here tonight. If you all are joining us, please let us know in the comments and let us know what you're currently reading. These are Revive reading sprints, but you do not have to be reading the Revive book club pick. You can read whatever you want to read and just hang out and chat and read with us. So I'll go ahead and let Leah introduce herself and let us know what she's reading.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Leah from here on Instagram and BookTube with this Leah Beth Book Time. And I am listening to Knowing God, and it is so far very good. We were just talking about this, how all of the Christian books kind of like give you like a synopsis of what you should be believing in firsthand and kind of like get you caught up to speed. So I'm kind of in the first like one third or fourth chapter. So I'm liking it a lot so far. I read a lot of Christian books and a lot of self-help books, so it's not uncommon for me to listen to a lot of it. And I love Jackie Hill Perry. That's probably my favorite person as far as Christian authors that I read the most from. And I also like John Mark Comer as a Christian author. But I was tempted tonight to also grab my Ruth Ware book that released today.
I mean, you can read some of both.
Ruth, if you did not know, today is her release day for Woman in Suite 11. And so it's going to be really good. But I'm definitely excited about this read. I need a good God book that gets me centered. I personally, in my life, I have a lot of events coming up. I have a women's prayer night. I have a youth revival night. So I need to get in the framework of like God on my mind all the time.
Yeah. Well, hey, knowing God. I mean, that's
knowing God is a great way to start. I think that's really great because sometimes we get so caught up in like what God does and what he can do to us, what he can do for us, rather than like the character of who he is. And so I've been really trying to focus on loving God and blessing God and worshiping him for who he is, not just what he does and his power and his blessing on my life, which I think is important to remind ourselves.
Yeah, for sure. I love that we're both kind of in that season too of like, this is where we want to put our focus, because that was a really big factor in me picking this book for Revive, because we had a completely different book going for this month, but then we read a similar book to like similar subject matter. And I was like, I don't feel like this is the book. And then for whatever reason, this was just really sticking out to me. And it's funny because this isn't the only book recently that stuck out about like knowing God or like just being. I know that knowing God and being known are two different things, but he does talk about both in this book. And the amount of things that I've come across lately in regard to those subjects, I'm like, this was the right choice. So I feel like it's really good.
I think too, like a big thing I've been going through is a season of really wanting to like focus on holiness. And it says that the pure in heart and the holy like will see God. So I just kind of feel like I really want like more of God in my life and more of his presence. So I'm like really trying to fixate on like weeding out the things in my life that are not bringing him glory. And so it's good to like focus in on like knowing God, like, okay, what makes you tick? What is your heart? What is going on in my life that doesn't line up to the character of who you are? Because you want to mirror Christ. I think that's like a really good check-in. I feel like this book will be a good check-in point. Like, what are the things right now that how am I mirroring Christ and how am I not?
Yeah.
And kind of go from there.
Yeah, that's good. We're having such good discussion over this book. Like we're already having good discussion and we haven't even.
I love discussing Christian books. It's so exciting. Well, any book really, but like I recently, even just on the weekend, I was visiting friends and we just had this huge theological discussion for like several hours until like 3 a.m. And it was just one of the things that we talked about in reference to like knowing God is knowing God's will for a service. And we were talking about this. I was so blown away by a quote that my friend said. Basically, it was like, worship is not for us, it's for God. So when we walk away from a service or a worship service and we say like, I didn't get anything out of that, well, good, because it was for God, not for you. And I just feel like we get in our Christian megachurch culture, we get so fixated on like,
it's literally called worship. Like I get it. We do get self-centered in it because I've been there, but it's, if you think about it, like worship. What do you? It's praise and worship. Who are
Yeah.
you worshiping? Like,
Yeah, right. So like I was really, I told my friend I was really challenged because we went down there on Sunday night, and it's really good that we're reading this book because it kind of comes at a time where I'm like, I want to know what God's heart is for worship, for services, for leading and ministering. And when I walked away from the service on Sunday, we had like a kind of subpar worship set. And I caught myself and I was like, why are you saying the worship set wasn't good? Did it bring him glory? Did he get exalted? Did it magnify the name of the Lord? And if it did, you can't say it was a bad worship set because it wasn't for the people and it wasn't for me. It was for God. And so it's like freeing. Yeah.
That's good. I love that. That's a really good perspective to have. So
yeah. So
preaching.
Well, it takes the pressure off us, right? It takes the pressure off me, and it takes the pressure off my own expectation. Because I feel like, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a worship leader. So it's really hard when things don't go right on stage, or like, like I know your husband preaches. If like you just preach and it doesn't come out the right way, you put so much pressure on yourself. But I think it was Brandon Lake that was like, half the time God is moving through us and we just need to get out of his way. And whatever you say, God will anoint it if you're yielded to him. So trying to like be more in that mind frame. So yes, I want to know God more.
I love it. And how far did you say you were? Like 3 or 4 chapters?
3, almost 4. Yes, because I'm audiobooking it. I got the audiobook.
Okay. Good deal. I'm on chapter 6, and I will read a chapter of this tonight, but I've been taking it kind of slower. And then I'm also reading Redemption by Karen Kingsbury.
Okay.
I've never read the Baxter Family series. This is like the series that my grandmother read. Like, this is a series that I associate with her. And never did I ever think I would read Karen Kingsbury, but I also used to not super read like Christian fiction or anything. Yeah. And so Jordan loves this series. And then Wendy also loves this series. And so finally I was like, okay, I'm in this reading mood this year where I'm liking more Christian fiction. I'm liking more, like, I don't know. I just get in different moods every year. And so I'm like, let me just see if I'm in the mood. So I tried a chapter and I was like, I'm in the mood. And it's so funny though, because it's dated. Like, but it holds up, but it's dated. Okay. Here's a great example.
Period. What period of time is it?
No, it's just contemporary. Have you not read it either?
No.
So it's about, like, it follows this family, the Baxter family, obviously. Okay. So you've got the parents and they've got 5 kids, 5 maybe. I don't know. There's 5 books, so I assume there's 5 kids. And each kid has their own thing. So this book follows Carrie, and she just found out that her husband was having an affair, and she had no idea. Yeah, wow. So it's like Binding 13, but make it Christian. Except that's not what Binding 13 is. But I'm just thinking about dramatic books.
No, like the drama of it all. That's cool. Yeah. That's a big draw. I was going to say, no wonder it's Jordan's.
No, let me tell you what this reads like, though. Did you ever watch Seventh Heaven?
Yes, I love
it's like that.
That's amazing. You know what I thought of when you held up the cover? It reminded me, have you ever watched those movies? Oh, what are they called? But it's like Love Comes Softly. Do you remember those from a long time ago?
I didn't watch them. I think I recognize the name.
Katherine Heigl, who plays 27 Dresses, that was her like breakout role, was in that movie, Love Comes Softly. But it's like, I forget. It goes, let me look up what it's called, like the series. But
this looks like it's by Jeanette Oak wrote the book.
Yeah.
She's a Christian fiction author. Okay.
So Love Comes Softly is like the movie, but they're all the different books. And it just kind of reminds me of that because like her family, there's all kinds of different drama and crazy things that happen. But yeah, it's by Jeanette Oak. And Jeanette Oak and like Karen Kingsbury, I know they don't write like in the same time period, but they kind of remind me of each other.
Yeah, this is just like contemporary. So like, I mean, this could be happening,
like today.
But she wrote this series like in the early 2000s, and it reads that way. But I like it though. Like right now it's giving me 4-star feelings. There's not like 5-star feelings, but I really am enjoying reading it and the drama of it. And I don't know, like I'm having to suspend my belief a little bit on how it is. I don't want to say this because I know that there's people out there that live their lives like this, but sometimes it gets a little preachy or a little like everybody's always thinking about God all the time. And I think we should be that way, but I don't think everybody's always that way. And so I have to suspend my belief a little bit.
I was gonna say, I don't like wake up and immediately I'm like, God, it's like like it takes me a while to like wake up and all this stuff. But I hate when like a book gets condemning, right? Like a little bit.
It's good though.
Yeah, I'm excited to try it. I've been really interested. So like Wendy's sister, Anna, she reads so many older books, and I feel like they have more depth and nuance than today. Like they're just, I don't know, meatier, and like they just add more to my life. I've been trying to I've actually talked about being in the mood for that. I've been in the mood for like self-help books or like Christian books recently. So I just read The Common Rule again by John Whitmel Early, I think is his name. And so like I just love books from like an older time period too. I just feel like they have more. They're deeper.
Yeah. And things are definitely written different nowadays.
Yeah. I feel like things are written in, I don't know, like honestly, just not like a superficial way, maybe like not like a really thoughtful way. I don't know. So
I also feel like people just don't want to offend anybody nowadays too. So like that affects the way that they write, whether it's nonfiction or fiction. So
yeah, I agree. They're very careful and like maybe timid, and you can see that in the writing. I do like when authors just go all in, even if like you said, they're like, it gets a little preachy. Like I like when they put their own opinion and I think into the book.
Good. Like, I mean, I say that's being super hyper critical of this. And I'm already like, I'm pretty far. I'm 140 pages in. So
that's pretty good. I know she came out with that. Her book was turned into a movie, like that came out in theaters. I didn't get to see it, but
it's one of the books that's like a standalone, but that it's still connected to this.
Right. That's what I was thinking. And isn't it about like a war, like the guy goes away to war or something, maybe?
I thought that was the one that was. Are you thinking about Candace Cameron's movie? Or no, I don't know. I get mixed up.
It's definitely Karen Kingsbury. I'm going to have to look. Maybe I'm thinking of it wrong, but I'll have to look up and see what it is. It was
she also turned this into it's on Amazon Prime. It's a series. There's like 3 seasons. Yeah. So I need to figure out, I don't know. So there's 5 books in the original series. Like this is the Redemption series, but then there's other series that still follow this family. And so I don't know with the show, with it being 3 seasons, like, does it just follow like one book, all 5 books, or different series? Like, I need to know before I watch it. So
I agree. This is the one that has anything to do with the war, now that I look at it. But I know that like her books have been turned, I think several have been turned into movies, maybe, or maybe not all movies, series and stuff. So I really like to read something. Speaking of book turned series, We Were Liars by E.L. Lockhart. I literally got that book like I don't even know, in 2013, whenever it came out, 2011 or something, like forever ago. And I remember reading it a long time ago thinking like, it's pretty good, like this is kind of cool. So long for that to be picked up. But I just finished the series on Amazon Prime and it's really good.
Did you reread the book before you watched the series?
No,
or did you just
not? But now I'm doing opposite. I'm reading the book again, but I'm like, I have to wait though. Like I don't want to buy the audio, and I actually have the physical. So it's like very slow moving because I haven't read a physical book in a long time. It's been probably like a month. So I do have the book now that I'm reading after watching the series, but oh my gosh, this series did it so much justice. I say that it did have, like, if you're looking for a new series and like you want a psychological thriller, it had a lot of language, but it was good.
Yeah,
very good.
It's on my list to watch because I'm like you. I also read the book. I randomly picked it up. It was like I was on a beach vacation and I was trying to find something to read, but it was before I was like on BookTube or Bookstagram or anything.
Back in the day.
Yeah, and I picked it up randomly and I flew through it. It was so good. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars when I read it, and I've read it twice. So
I read it before I was on BookTube or Goodreads. So I've got it like now I'm going to be scoring it for like, I guess the first time and get my like now impression after I've read so many books. But I just thought like it was weird the way that they made the main character and even Gat was like totally different than what I imagined them to be like. So it was really cool. I liked it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all can tell we ain't talked in a while.
This is true. But I finally got on Telegram. All of those who are on Telegram, I have proof.
Adley.
On my phone, look, booyah. It happened. Oh, by the way, does anyone know about Lemon 8? I did not know about it until literally.
I saw the ads for it. Like, was it on TikTok that I saw ads for it? I don't know. Somewhere.
Guys, it is amazing. It is so much better than TikTok, and it is so much better than Instagram. Get on it. Be my friend.
I'm not adding anything else. I don't even do TikTok.
You'll love it. It's mostly just pictures and slides with information. For my ADHD brain, it works great.
But see, it's feeding that though.
It is though, probably, but it's just so good. I love it. There's a lot of pictures, less instructions, more pictures.
Oh my goodness. All right. Hi, Danny. Thanks for joining us. You're reading All This and More. I think that's the Paying Shepherd book, the Gwen's Book Club pick. That's like a choose your own adventure. I think that's what that is. That's fun. Hi, Morgan. You're also reading Knowing God, and you're currently on chapter 5. Awesome. And y'all feel free, like anybody that's reading the book, if you want to drop your thoughts or like quotes that you like or anything like that in the chat. I do that just as a way for me to also remember what I highlight, but it helps me to write it down. Almost like when you write definitions in school, I'm like, okay, I'm going to type in the chat and it'll more ingrain it. So
I do that too. For me, I love to highlight. That's like, that just gets it locked in my brain. If I highlight it, I'll never forget it.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, April. You're reading Sarah Adams' Beg, Borrow, or Steal.
Dude, that book. Okay, so funny story. I started it, but you know how busy I had been with working. So like I started it, didn't finish it, and I did finish it. And I thought it was really good, but it was not my favorite.
Yeah, I've heard that, like surprisingly from people that love that series, that book wasn't their favorite.
I gave it, I think, a 3.5, but like there's just something lackluster about it. Like, no offense to you, April, you may be loving it, but I love the male lead, but the female lead, Emily, was just like, take it or leave it. It's a little abrasive for me.
That's a bummer.
It was a bummer, but I know the new one's coming out, which is about dreaming. Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, good.
I actually think it's kind of funny because her giveaway was like a Dutch oven. She's like, share and repost and you'll get a free Dutch oven. And I'm like, that is so on brand for her. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll go ahead and start our first sprint. Oh, she said she's 56% of the way in. Are you liking it?
Maybe she is. And if you hear Addie singing Taylor Swift upstairs, she has headphones. Listen. Do you hear?
So I can just hear like a slight mumble. It probably sounds louder on your end than it
belting out Taylor. So she just got new Bluetooth headphones. So she's like on Spotify all the time. And a funny story real quick before we start is like, I'm always trying to hit Spotify, but she's on my Spotify. So I'll be in like my room, like trying to listen to Christian music. And then like it switches to Taylor Swift. And I'm like, what? It's so irritating. I need to get like a family plan where she can have her own line.
Yeah.
Hi, Alicia. Alicia's from church and she's on my worship team.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not a Lemon 8 fanatic. What?
But she says she still likes it.
It's good. Definitely. Like I like it too, because I feel like it's not as involved and you can just scroll anonymously. Yeah. Ooh, Frederick Bachman. Love it. Have you read his books at all? Have you read his books?
So I, way back when, read his novellas. The one that makes everybody cry. And every day the way home gets longer and longer. That's such a long title. But I sobbed the whole way through that. It's a novella. And then I read The Deal of a Lifetime, which is a novella. And I gave the first one 5 stars, the second one 4 stars. Then I DNF'd A Man Called Uva. Then I DNF'd Anxious People. And I DNF'd Beartown. And I have zero interest in reading any more of his books.
Those are all of his hits. What in the world?
I don't care. Sorry, I love it. I love y'all that love him. And I'm so glad that you love him. He's just not for me.
Okay.
Except his novellas.
I was going to say, so like top 3 reasons why he's not for you. Is it like writing style? Is it like?
I don't know. I liked his writing in his novellas and it gripped me emotionally, but I feel like in his full-length novels, I'm not gripped emotionally. I'm bored. I don't care.
Okay.
So, but I can recognize that his writing is good. It's just not for me. Like, I know he has really good quotes and like he does write well. It just doesn't do anything for me.
That's what a lot of people felt about Ministry of Time, because the writing was like absolutely phenomenal because an editor wrote it, but like the storyline for a lot of people just fell flat. I felt that way strangely. I still gave it 3 stars because it was still pretty good. But by The Rose Bargain, I forget who it's by. But The Rose Bargain, like, I'll look up real quick. It was like literally so boring, but everyone was obsessed with it. And I'm like, I don't get it. I'm confused. It's by Sasha Payton Smith, but like it was just basically like a fantasy version of The Bachelor.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's some people's. I mean, I love the selection series, and that's basically like The Bachelor meets The Hunger Games. So,
well, that's true, man. Everybody, like, if you're on any social media, one thing right now you can't get away from, speaking of like reality shows, is Love Island.
Yeah.
Everyone and their mothers.
I don't watch it.
I don't watch it either. Why does anybody watch it? It's full of drama.
I used to watch like The Bachelor and Bachelor in Paradise. I tried to watch Love is Blind and it was fine, but I
like Love is Blind, but I even started to feel a little icked out by that. And then this was like, meh.
Now look, Love on the Spectrum, I really liked, but then it got really weird because like one of the, I won't say who it is, but somebody on there is like really infatuated with like, why is it like, this is a word that we're adults here, really infatuated with sex. And I was like, it just is a little bit awkward, like for anybody, like regardless of whether you're on the spectrum. And I'm like, why? I just feel like they were exposing that, like that person on the show in a way that
I was gonna say, like, I know the greatest part of that show is that whatever girl who sang the Disney song to her boyfriend or whatever, like that.
She writes music. She's so sweet.
She is. She was on the Kelly Clarkson show. I was like,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, Leah, we got to focus. Here we go.
Yes, here we go.
It's definitely not measuring up. Practice makes perfect. Okay.
Nothing can, April. Nothing. I am convinced.
I know. I have a hesitancy with the movie. I don't know. Well,
no. I'm gonna look this up.
I'm concerned that there is a
factor you don't like.
Yes. And I just don't really care to watch it. Like I've become such, like, I don't care what anybody else watches, but like when I watch stuff, and sometimes I'm fine. Like I can watch something with, I don't know, something that you think I wouldn't want to watch in it and I'll be fine. But then like some things I'm like, no, I'm good. Like I'm good. So Tom Hanks plays him. So
okay. Yeah. I don't like Tom Hanks that much.
He's very opinionated on his
politics. He's not my favorite. But I'm the same way as you. I can watch something that Tyler's like, that's trash. And then I'm like fine watching it. But then like Big Brother, I watched a lot of the clips from like the Big Brother house or whatever that like Jojo Siwa was a part of. And then it's not a big deal. And then I'm like, wait, this is really wrong. I shouldn't watch this. But
because all the drama, like
and then also just other things that are, but then I can watch like, I don't even know, like any type of murder mystery show or anything that has any type of like murder aspect. And then I get really convicted and I'm like, I shouldn't be watching because, well, for me, I have like this tendency to get really afraid, especially like when I'm home alone or like it's nighttime. So then I'm like, I'm just feeding the fears and it's so
it's fine. We're all our own people. We all got our own things.
Yeah, it's true.
It's fun. All right, let's read.
Let's read.
Let's go till 10 after.
Okay.
That'll give us a little bit.
And if I disappear, it's just because my kids were yelling and I had to go.
You're fine. You do what you need to do.
Okay.
All right.
Boo.
All right. We will see you all at 10 after.
All right. Yeah.
Did you get some reading done?
I did. I probably did something no one's ever done. I cooked dinner while listening to my book
I was wondering what you were doing. What'd you cook?
Yeah, I cooked cabbage rolls, but they're like lazy man cabbage rolls. So you just chop up the cabbage, you boil it, and then put it all in with like ground beef, onion, and tomato soup, and a little bit of garlic. And then I made a fried egg for Ellie and I think a bagel. But I was like, people are probably like, oh, stop moving around.
No, I noticed you were doing something. It looked like you were in the kitchen, so I figured. But
yeah. I was like, might as well, like I don't have to sit and read because my book is an audiobook. So I was like, I'm just gonna like run around and do some things that I need to. But it was like nice because I feel like when I'm doing things, I feel like I know it sounds stupid, but like I feel like when I'm doing something, I actually listen better because I'm moving my hands around. And I feel like for me, I'm the type of person who needs like a fidget. So I feel like it's really good for me to like, if I'm doing something, I can listen and absorb. And I like this book so far. I will say that this book kind of reminds me of John Piper's writing a little bit. It's kind of almost like old world, like old from
it was written in the 70s too. And
okay, that would make sense. Yeah.
J.I. Packer, I don't know what his denominational affiliation is, but I feel like it's Anglican or some like Orthodox.
It's Orthodox because he said catechism, whatever, and catechisms are like people who are learning right in the Orthodox Church, like their mentors or their mentors.
It says he was a cleric and writer in the Low Church, Anglican, and Calvinist traditions, which I knew. I knew that he had some Calvinism because I knew that he was he believes in God's elect, like predestination. So I knew, I was like, okay, so he's leaning on that end. And I wanted to know that going in because I read across like denominations because I think we can learn something from everybody, even if there's like little differences. But I wanted to know like enough going in. So like knowing that he believed in predestination just in case, like because I don't. And so like I wanted to know, is it going to feed into anything in this or not? And just to be aware for myself.
I like the way he describes things. I think it was like back in either the introduction or chapter 1 where he describes like kind of surveying Christianity as like people from a balcony or people on the path. Like, you can look inside and like, you can make observations about what you think someone should do or how they should do it. But then when you're on the path, you need different information for both vantage points, which kind of makes it sound like you need different information for how close you are to God. Are you outside looking into Christianity? Or are you walking in it? And so I felt like his description of that was really good. And I think he's like a little bit preachy, like challenging, right?
But he does put a lot of scripture in too, though, which I appreciate.
He puts a lot of scripture in a lot of the quotes. I mean, one of the things that I really liked was in chapter 1, or maybe it might have been chapter 2, he talked about like if I know the difference between like really knowing God, and people can say they know God, but they more so just know about him. But if you truly know God, he was going through all the things that like wouldn't shake you, and loss was one of them, which really resonated with me. And because like, I lost my dad, and I feel like, it is true. Like if you know God and you know his character, loss is not as it's impact. I don't want to be like insensitive. Like it's really impacting, but it's not hopeless. And it's not like, destroying your life. Like there are some people who like wrap up in grief and live there forever. But I feel like if you truly know God, you're able to really process it. Like I processed all of my grief without therapy. And that's something I chose to do because I thought to myself, like, I could go to someone, but like the Holy Spirit is a counselor and he is our comforter. And like, what better place to go for therapy? No, I'm not like over spiritualized.
Did you just read that chapter?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I was like, okay, these words are the same.
I was going to say, like, I'm not trying to over spiritualize people's grief journey, but we talk a lot about the Holy Spirit. But like, if you do therapy, that's wonderful. But for me specifically, I just felt really like I wanted to go with what the Word of God said from a Christian perspective. And, but yeah, I like the way that he puts things in a really challenging way. And I do like what he talked about, like the way that the modern day church has kind of almost like limited our knowledge of God, almost like we just want to like know about him in the ways that makes us comfortable. And so I really like that. I love books that challenge the modern day church because the modern day church is really not prepared for a move of God, in my personal opinion. They don't know what to do if it hits. So that kind of goes back to like, you know, you think of like, what was it, like the Asbury revival with all of the college, where all those people were like, I think it was like a 27-day all night prayer and praise, like movie. And like all of us sensorialized Christians who only know God's character at the surface, we just want to be like, oh, I feel God, so it is God. And that's true. But also like what brought about that revival was repentance. So like everybody always gets this character of God. This book is important because like everyone gets this snapshot of God, like he's so this and that and like all the fluffy things. But there's also like an accountability we need to have in our relationship with God, where we are like purifying ourselves. We're inputting the word of God. We're being renewed daily, and we're also repenting for God to be able to like move through us. So I like books that challenge the modern church and also challenge like, what are you doing to have?
We're definitely in an era, and I feel like this is me too, because I'm a feeler. So I get caught up in feelings.
I am too.
But we are in an era, in a church era, of it being so much about how we feel. And that's not the core of why we do what we do. Like, it's not about us at the end of the day, you know? And it's funny you also mentioned repentance too, because that's something that I feel like the Lord has been nudging me on more, because it's something that I think as Christians at times we get complacent in that and we don't repent, especially with like, I have a book by Jerry Bridges. I haven't read it yet, but I want to. It's called Respectable Sins. And I feel like that is very much like the life I live of like, you know, we know that God views sin the same, all sin the same, but like we don't as humans view it all the same. So we're like, oh, whatever. But without repentance, there is a block there. Like there are blessings that you don't receive. There's like disconnect from you God when repentance is not happening.
Absolutely.
And I'm definitely not. I'm not like a super repentant Christian like I should be. And I know that. And my brain goes, well, I know I'm not going to fix it right now. Like, it's like one of those things, like I'll start on Monday.
Yeah. Like you think like it'll take so much to get to that place, especially if you have deep-seated hurt or like really long history with a person who's hurt you. It's like you feel like you have to dig it up all the way down to the root, and it's exhausting.
Yeah.
So it's like really hard.
I think I make excuses for where I'm at in circumstances in life. Like, whenever I have been like involved heavily in church and surrounded by like a tribe of people who are chasing after God, then I do better. And the seasons of life, which this has been my season of life since 2018, when I'm not, I feel like I don't even want to try because I'm just going to mess up again. And that is like forever and a day, my cycle of like, back and forth of like, I want this, but then I feel like I don't have people to run with me. And honestly, it's crazy because like I came on BookTube in a season of life where like our church plant at the time. So Will preaches still, but he preached at two churches. The church since 2015 that he was an interim pastor at, that he stayed at, but then he also preached at our church plant. And when that ceased to exist because leadership and like everything just left, we were young, like people weren't committed. That really broke me. And since then, like I didn't have that community. So I joined BookTube to fill a void. But after 5 years, what I have is God brought me Christian friends who are now building me up in the spirit virtually, which is not the same as in person, but it's still giving me right now.
Yeah, but you get to check in with your friends a lot and like see them, which is really nice. I mean, I have a best friend who lives about an hour and a half away, and it's really hard too. But like when we're together, we like get really excited. It's so funny. Speaking of friendship too, another thing that I read recently, and I forget, actually, no, I didn't read it. I heard it maybe by Jackie Hill Perry. She was talking about iron sharpening iron. We talk about like in our friendships, how we should do that. And she talked about when iron sharpens iron, there's friction.
Mm-hmm.
And that really stuck out to me because we always want this idea that our Christian friends will be our peaceful friends and like our Jesus friends that never cause trouble. No, Christian friends are the ones who are going to speak the truth in love, hopefully. But the truth is going to cause friction.
Yeah.
And so I thought to myself, I was looking back. So we're talking about forgiveness, right? So one of the things I had to like bring up in my mind was like a past grievance that a friend had done, and I was not forgiving her. And I didn't realize it until I would like see her, be around her. And then I'm like, okay, well, maybe I still don't forgive her. And bitterness is something I really deal with since my dad.
Yeah.
Bitterness comes hand in hand with grief. So anyway, I really had to like realize that, okay, the drama that we might have experienced is also just iron sharpening iron. It's the fact that somebody is honest with you and will be direct and real with you. And that's not a simple, easy process. And so that really made me see some of our disagreements in a different perspective, or some of like the drama in a different perspective. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe that was a blessing. Maybe that was a God ordained thing after all. And maybe that was just another way that God was like using someone to encourage me. And so I had to, go check in with God and be like, am I also walking, because I see this differently? Can I go back then and assign forgiveness to it? And like, another thing I loved about the ministry of time, and this can really apply to our Christian life. One of my favorite quotes is that she said, forgiveness is the real time travel, because we can go back in time and right or wrong and like fix it. And that's so true with God, how like the time travel, like we can go back and fix what was broken. And then she said it from a perspective of like, when we do that, it changes the trajectory of what our future would have been. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so
deep.
Right. It was super deep to me, because I was like thinking, man, this little like sci-fi book that was book of the month is like Lolly or whatever. I was like, this is really teaching me. And another thing I love about the character of God, once you get to know God more intimately and deeply, is that he uses everyday life to teach us things, like books that we're reading that might not even be Christian books, or shows that we're watching or whatever. But yeah, like what you were saying, like my biggest issue is also like, why even try? Because I'm not going to be consistent. Like, why even go there? And like, I think about all the things that I need to like go through in my mind and catalog, like, okay, I need to get over this and this and this. And it's like so overwhelming to me. And I don't even want to start. But I think that in my mind, sometimes I have to remind myself, when it says in the scripture, and I forget which one, we have to work out our salvation with groans and like,
yes. Oh,
like that really is the work of salvation. Like going to those places that you haven't visited in a while inside yourself, and like, oh my gosh, like is something, like I cleaned that room, but is something coming back? Is it dusty again? Because like, I know about you, but I can forgive someone. And then sometimes if I get in this habit of rehearsing what happened, I'll get back in that bitter state of unforgiveness. And I'm like, gotta keep maintenance. And that's the hard thing about
maintenance. That's it right there. It's maintenance. And it is so hard if you don't like keep up.
And as a Christian, I feel like more maintenance is required of us, which is exhausting and sucky, because we're like, I don't really want to be that on top of things, but we have to. And that's the process of holiness that is hard. If we really want more of God in our life, we have to be purified. And I don't know if you know the worship leader, Rita Springer. You probably do. But she talked about that. She was like, my responsibility or a job is like to everything I do for God, show up clean. And I think she described something like, oh, what was it? But it's like when you're trying to use something and there's residue and you're trying to use something to clean, maybe it was like a sponge or I forget. But like if you're trying to use something to clean something else, but there's still residue, it's not cleaning. And so she's like, when you take a sponge and you want to clean something, but you've used it before and it's all messy, you've got to clean it first before you can clean something else. And it made me think of that. Like when God wants to use us in a way to like, I don't know, in any capacity, we have to be clean and without like residue. And I have to challenge myself every Wednesday, even when I'm going to church, like, am I clean on the inside? It's hard. Yeah.
All right.
If I hear an alarm go off, by the way, I'm gonna have to go turn off my pot.
You're good. Oh, hold on. We got to talking about this and I didn't tell what else I read, but I made it. I'm not going to read any more of this tonight, but I did make it to part 2 and I'll be on chapter 7 the next time that I read it. So the last chapter I did was the Holy Spirit chapter. And then I also read some of this, but I'm in the middle of a chapter right now because the chapters are kind of long. But
I'm going to also slow down on mine because I want to get more of it and write it down on my reading.
Yeah. I need to go ahead and get the rest of the series because I feel like I'm going to want, which I hate it. I hate it when this happens. I'm like, I'm not making TBRs because I'm going to mood read.
Then I'm going to hate it.
I don't. But wait, I didn't really make a TBR. I was like, I have like maybe 4 or 5 books I need to read. I needed to read. This was not on it, by the way. But like, I need to read this. I need to read pictures of you from.
Oh, yes.
Jordan's.
Griffin.
Emma Gray.
Okay. I was right. Letters, wrong, everything.
Yeah. But I need to read that one. And then I'm buddy reading The Words We Lost by Nicole Deese with Jordan.
Okay.
So I have to read those 3. And then I think the only other ones that I had were like my hold for Say You'll Remember Me came in.
Oh my gosh. Have you not read that?
No, because I couldn't get the dang book and I'm not buying a hardcover.
Dude, I could have just sent it to you because like I finished it.
But I don't want a hardcover.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and I had bought a different. I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm reading it on ebook, and I have the audiobook, but I need the ebook to read on my Kindle. So, anyways, So I was like, okay, that's all I'm gonna read. But I'm like, I do have to get these priority books. Well, now I want to read the next 4 books in this. Like, when am I gonna read what I need to read?
I hate when you get hooked on a series because I feel like, for example, I just finished Queen of Shadows not long ago with Tog, and I'm like, I want to finish the next book. And the same thing with the Heat of the Everflame. I'm like, I really want to finish, but there's so much. They're so big. Yeah. And I hate when I get strung up on a series because then I feel like I don't get anything done. It just seems so overwhelming to me. Like an ADHD person reading a series is so confusing. It's just like, it's really hard. I feel like with it. And so I had to, but I did, like you're like saying, oh, I got all the books. Like I have the ebooks of all of Tog, but I also on the Audible sale a couple of weeks ago, I got all the audiobooks for like $5. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
I hate when you get like in a series because then all the other priority books just never happen.
Mm-hmm. I hear you. All right. How did everybody else do?
Oh, wait. Were you going to read a quote from the book?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. No, not right now.
But, okay.
So April didn't read or listen to that sprint. Cleaned the kitchen, took some pictures, some bags I made this weekend, and got ready for bed. Reading this next sprint for sure. Sounds good.
Yay.
And she was yesing you preaching over there.
Right.
Hannah hopped in just in time for church. I love it.
We do get like preachy when we're together and we like start talking about.
I love it. I love like whenever I talk to you, like you can just tell how much time you spend with the Lord because of it coming. Like it comes out in you like every time we talk. And this is my church too. I'm like, yes, church with Leah. Let's go. Where are we going? What are we going on today?
It's a good time. I love it.
Do you listen to? Okay, so like you quoted multiple people like when you were talking, like Jackie Hill Perry, Rita Springer. Like, do you listen to a lot? Well, Jackie Hill Perry, I know she does a podcast, but she also does like books and stuff. But like, where do you listen to sermons or podcasts or stuff like?
I do. So I listen to Rita Springer's podcast and I listen to Jackie Hill Perry's podcast, but not always. Like some of these things I've listened to a while ago. I'm just remembering. And the thing I love too is that sometimes even if I don't listen to their podcast, they have like when you follow their page, you have quotes that come up of things that they say, snippets from the podcast that I also see. Another person I really love to listen to is Robert Madu, which is really, really good. He's the pastor of Social Dallas Church.
I was like, why does that name sound familiar? Yes. Okay.
He's really good. But I think also just like, you know, my mom and I, when we're together, we talk about stuff like that's of God, and when me and Wendy get together and we like compare notes of things like we've talked about or listened to. So I think it's just like all that knowledge is in there, but I do definitely listen to a lot of Christian books and I listen to a lot of Christian podcasts. So that's probably why as well. But I love Rita Springer. Like as far as like a worship leader, it's so funny because she's like living a life of like celibacy. Like she's literally never married. And she has an adopted son. And just because she's never married, I feel like her, like God is like so close to her life because that's all she has. And I just feel like she's just a wealth of knowledge. So if you ever get a chance.
Yeah. I only know her music. Like I don't know a ton about her other than her music, but
yeah, she's really awesome. I like her a lot. Yeah, we get to have church. Church.
I feel like the modern day church has lost how to bask in his presence, like slowing down, stopping, listening, sitting, waiting, and receiving what he has for you. Yes.
Waiting. What you said it perfectly. The church does not know how to wait. And that is why nothing happens, I think, truly, because we just do not know how to wait on the Lord. And it comes from this awkward idea that everything, that dead space is awkward. And like dead space is like, oh my gosh, I gotta fill it. Or people are gonna be upset. And
we don't know how to be quiet anymore. This has made us not know how to be quiet. Like the scrolling. Will was telling me one day, and I don't know the terminology or where I know he was like listening. I know it's like factual, but he was talking about how with TikTok, the way that we scroll and we move to like different worlds as we scroll does something negative to our brain.
It does.
It's not,
it
flips so much, you know?
Yeah.
We're just killing our brain.
Well, our brain, it's being like, what's the word? Like there's my timer. Hold on.
You're good.
You're
That's okay. I'm just going to go through these comments. Hi, Sarah. It's the instant gratification mentality of this generation that's crept into the church. Yes. And I feel like social media has made it worse for whatever reason. Like it's just that everything at your fingertips, the more that technology has advanced and the more that we have access to, it's not just affecting our lives with our phones, it's affecting our lives everywhere, like our relationships include people and with God. It's affecting, like how we work, because so many people nowadays, they can't, and I'm one of those people, like I struggle at work, like, depending on what the day looks like. And we just don't have that ability to sit still, to listen, to be bored. Like we don't know what that is anymore. We just need things like constantly. And I definitely think I can see over the years how this has affected the way that my brain works too. So
yeah, what I was saying was what?
I'm sorry.
Well, your brain, I'm sorry, I ran away. Our brain is like supposed to, like, our brain is moldable. So it's like changeable. And when we do certain things to create new neural pathways, it like stimulates our brain. Like we're in different places and different, it's almost like overstimulating our brain to where we can't ever just have presence in one place, which I think is like affecting our relationships. It's affecting our relationship with God. It's affecting our communication skills, like just everything. And I think that, Alicia said like instant gratification. It's trained our brain to immediately want something like fast. And I think with God, it says, wait on the Lord, bask in his presence, like wait for him to speak, be quiet and listen. And none of us know how to do that. In prayer time, I'll be like, blah, 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 and I like,
but we don't take time to hear. Yeah.
Right. We don't take time to hear. And I just feel like even corporately, we've gotten, and I'm guilty too. We've gotten so attached to this idea that like, if we like draw a song out or if we sing the same thing 1,000 times, it's like gonna offend somebody. Like we are so conscious. We're more conscious of other people's feelings and, than what we want God to be pleased with. And it's really sad. Even on Sunday morning, we were like singing the song that I wanted to kind of draw out longer. And I was like, oh my gosh, what if we do this? Everyone is just going to be bored, because I looked up and like nobody was really into worship. And it was just, so I feel like we have to cater to like a broken church. It really is sad. And then, in addition to like all of this instant gratification, not being able to wait on the Lord, we also just have injected so much like lights and what's the word, like cinematography or theatricality.
Yes.
It's become so showy.
Performance
based too. And it's so, that if something is performance based, which is so anti-God, because it's not even us that produces, it's God through us. So this performance aspect too has us distracted before we even get into what we're supposed to do, people are so distracted by the stupidest things, like the lighting concept of the church or the sound or
And God gave us like the creative ability to do, like, those are not bad things.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
the way, it's your perspective or the way that's used, or if it's the
Right.
focus is there versus.
Yeah. Like professional, I guess I should counterbalance with like professionalism is important. But if we make it so prioritized over God's, like a move of the Spirit, then it's an idol. And it's something that's just really hard to unlearn, because we say, they say like play skillfully before the Lord and do all these things and, preach with the tongue of a ready writer. And it's like, yeah, you want to be professional in all the things you do, but also like we need to wait on the Lord and listen and let him work through us. And the modern day church is just really bad at that. Would she say I ran away to evil?
Well, I was gonna say we're gonna have to pray for Yvette because she ran away to evil tonight, man.
I was like, what?
She said it's much more wholesome than it sounds.
That's so funny.
Speaking of a fantasy novel, I think Josh was talking about that from it used to be Bookish Daddy, it's Bookish and Bearded now. But I think I know what she's talking about.
You know what's so funny is like those books that look like they're gonna be wholesome or like unassuming. Like that book that I was mentioning, I think it was like on TikTok. It's this book that starts out as like a teenage retelling of a story. It's like a young adult feel, and you're like, oh, that's really
it's giving assistant to the villain.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I thought this one book, it's called There's Someone in Your House. I think it's by Sarah Perkins or something, Stephanie Perkins. And it like starts out like so innocent like, and then it gets like slashery. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? So many books are just deceiving.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you're so caught up in being overstimulated or in a constant state of going, or children that are growing up are not able to be bored or understimulated at any point too. Yeah.
That's so true. That's really hard. Yeah.
Bless your heart being a teacher today, Hannah.
Yeah, it's true.
But also Leah, because now you're doing it too. So.
Yeah. And it's really hard with like kids that are on the spectrum, because they want to be stimulated, but then they can get overstimulated. It's like there's so much to work through.
Yeah. I feel like, yes. Is that an older song?
Yes. Well, it's not an older song, but it's Jeremy Needham is, oh gosh, his wife writes really good books. I really appreciate. I'm trying to think of like, hold on, let me look her up. It is they're very much anti-large church. I think it's Kelly Needham. Maybe she's the one who read the book Friendish. Hold on. He is a pastor who really focuses on not having big churches, because he thinks that back in the day, the way that the apostles ran their church was like the way that it should be, like small and in small clusters. But Kelly Needham, she
the song did come out in 2012, so it is older. It's over 10 years old.
Okay, so that's older.
Yeah, I know this song. It's just been a while since I've heard it, but I need to re-listen. I was looking up songs the other day to make a playlist for this month for Revive, and I was like rediscovering all these classic old songs. I was like, man, there were some back then in the
literally. I was like on my car Christian radio thing or Christian Spotify, and Rebecca St. James, like, all of you is more than enough for all of you satisfy me like, oh my gosh, I was like, that song, I forgot about it.
Oh, good.
But the songs from like back in the day really do have such oil on them still, and I'm like, they're anointed. Hold on, my daughter is asking.
Oh, you're fine. Okay, Vet says the book is basically Assistant to the Villain on steroids. Well, do I need to read it? Like, is it better than Assistant to the Villain, or is it like, I don't know? Oh no, I don't need to read it. It's RPG.
So apparently, I left my pan on the stove and it's burning. So I'll be right back.
Leah. Oh my goodness. ADHD brain, y'all. That's what it does. Okay, book literally pauses to go, she needed 100 points to level up. She was wearing an earring of +4, but okay, no. That's not a book I need to put on my TBR. That would annoy me. Like, if you like RPG, cool beans. But I feel like that would annoy me if it like pauses in the middle of the story to say that. Like, okay, but you said it's been fun so far. Okay. Interesting. That girl. Are you good? You're having some fire, right?
Basically, well, okay. No, it wasn't on the oven eye. Here's the problem. Does anyone have stainless steel cookware? I hate it. Here's why. The food never stops cooking. Even when you take it off of the oven eye, because it's stainless steel, it's like traps heat. So I moved it off the oven eye, but it was still cooking in the pan. So it got a little smelly. Like just the sauce that was in it got a little burned, but Ellie made it sound like it was like fire. Burned. Yeah, she made it sound like it was like really bad.
But at least she's aware, she's got.
Yes, she is very aware. She's actually too much aware. It's so funny. I swear, she uses vocabulary that is so interesting. She's like, the other day she said, I said it that way to accent that it was funny.
What in the world? She's intelligent.
She's 7. And I was like,
accent, but it was
dude, like, how does she even know how to express like herself that way? So she's very, and she said today, like, I said something and I just had a very disgusting feeling inside about it. Like the way she expresses herself, like she just expresses like conviction or whatever. It's just very adult-like. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. She's like her mother. She's very like wordsmithy. She kind of reminds me of a little Lorelai. Well, thank you, Alicia. I like to be called intelligent. It's not often something people say. I think it's because I come off really goofy. But if you get me,
you are really intelligent, though. Like you're very wise. Like,
well,
you're welcome.
I feel like you have to have a like deep conversation with me, and then you'll know I'm not just like a superficial person.
So Hannah's going to use that. Those songs have oil on them.
I actually can't take credit for that because Rita Springer said it, but she was talking about her song. It's called Amen, and it says, "Your oil."
I got that on my playlist for this.
Dude, the bridge is like, "Your oil never runs, never runs, never runs out. You provide every time. So why would I doubt it?" It's like so good. The way
I got it right there. Amen.
He literally is doing the same thing so many people are doing right now. I don't know if you've noticed, like Stephanie Gritzinger is very like unchurching.
Yeah.
It's like a common phrase right now too. Siri's like trying to listen to me. It's a common phrase right now to like undo what modern church is. And so I don't know. Oh,
yeah. I just love. Okay, you gonna get me on Stephanie for like 2 seconds.
Let's go.
I love her. Like I love her heart, and I love like she is just. I feel like she is constantly at his feet, like just constantly.
She's like a Catherine
being exudes Jesus to me. Like,
and I don't know if you've ever watched some of her sets, like where she has spoken.
Girl, I've been there.
That's true. You've been there, which I like am so jealous of. But so her new like sets are like, I want to call them like, what do you call TED Talks? Like her little TED Talks when she goes to colleges. She is based right now with Jesus image, which is like very churchy. They want to be so holy. But
I think they're based out of Nashville because she's in Frankfurt.
They are. Yeah, they're based out of Nashville, and she brings her daughter. Oh, this got me. Oh my gosh,
her daughter is.
She was like crying. Like Stephanie Gritzinger is like kneeling and crying and like crying out to God, and her daughter is over there at like, I don't know, she's like 6 or 7, and she's like,
she knows. Dude, she knows.
Yeah, she knows. And like just everything she says. One of the things that really got me recently when I was listening to like a YouTube of her talking, she talked about we literally want to trust God. And we just say, God, like I want to trust you. We struggle so much with it because trust is cultivated. And it's not just one time, like if you're like, of course
that's good, Leah. That's really good.
Because like she said, it was like she was just trying to describe faith and trust. Faith is like faith is different than trust, because faith is like believing that God can, but then trust is like knowing he will. But it's like two different things, and you have to be cultivated in trusting someone, because she described like,
I'm writing this down because I feel like I need that.
She's like, if you meet someone, she's like, if you hear about someone, that doesn't make you trust them, but getting to know them does. And I forget the analogy she used, but I guess it could be like, I don't know, you hear about a pastor and you might not trust what he says, but then you get to know him and you're like, he's a great person, whatever. But so that really challenged me. Like, you know, I condemn myself so much because I'm like, you didn't trust God with this, you know, but I have to remind myself trust is cultivated. So if it's cultivated, I am responsible for the amount of trust I have in God. It's not him, it's me. And it has to be because of the time I'm spending with him and how I'm digging deeper in my relationship and how much I'm trying to get to know him. And so that was like challenging for me because it's, you know, it's
Wendy
a process.
has joined our church service because apparently that's what we're doing tonight, Wendy.
We're having church. It's good though. I love it because I feel like this is the only sphere I get to talk. Otherwise it would be like with Wendy, but like I don't get to talk about.
This is filling my cup. This is exactly. I mean, I did not have the best day, so I know you didn't either. But.
Me either. For those of you who do not know, my husband ran over a cinder block in our brand new car. And you would think that a little broken piece of plastic wouldn't be much to fix, but they're quoting me anywhere from $1,400 to $1,800, and I am very much annoyed.
Rightfully so. Take me to church. Hannah said, I've been here for like 30 minutes, and how many times I've said I gotta go write that down.
I'm basically just John Mark Comer. I'm just re-quoting people who are quotable.
Hey, but it's good though, because some of us hadn't heard some of this stuff, you know?
Yes. Alicia's like, oh my gosh. Alicia, let it be recorded that Tyler always says he's the better driver, but he is the one who wrecked the car. So.
He won't never live it down now because you'll bring that up.
No, I like legit. If those of you who do not know me, I definitely am more even keeled. I don't get very upset very often. But in this specific incident, I was like I got so frustrated.
Well, and it's a brand new car. I remember you just got it.
I literally haven't paid the first payment. Like that's how new it is. And so it's like, oh my gosh, really? It's frustrating. But
at first I thought this was in reference to you talking about.
That's what I thought too. I was like, wow, Wendy's really on my side. Actually, no, all of my friends basically, I mean, I don't think Wendy said this, but like my other friends that I've told, they're like, you need to give your husband grace. And I'm like, no.
But in the moment, it is hard to not just be really angry about it. I was definitely in one of those moments where like so many, and here's the funny thing too, is like what got me through that moment was the fact that we had just shown up for like breakfast at Bob Evans. And I was like, okay, I'm really mad. Let's go eat something. I'm going to drown my sorrows in chocolate chip pancakes. It's going to be okay. I sit down and the first thing that comes out of her mouth is, we're out of pancakes. And I'm like, well, today's ruined.
I was like, the devil is alive and well.
Run out of pancakes.
I actually won't lie. I had a come to Jesus moment where I was like needing to go to the bathroom and like recollect, because I told her, I was like, how does a diner run out of pancakes? Just make more. What's going on? And then later I had to apologize to her because I was like, I'm sorry, I was a little sassy. I was like, I had a really bad morning. She was like,
and then she was probably having a bad morning because
she said that.
Get this girl some pancakes.
Yeah, she actually said, she's like, I've had a really bad day too. We can just have a bad day together. And then she just kept bringing me sweet tea. Dude, no, seriously, me and Wendy, don't mess with our food. It's like the one thing that gets me every time. Alicia knows. Literally, I just, when you have a bad day, what do you want to do? You want to drown your sorrows in like a book, a show, or food. And I just I had to get French toast. Okay.
It's French toast is great.
Not at Bob Evans. It's glorified.
Well, I've never eaten at a Bob Evans. I'm sure we have some like in
not
bigger
an
areas.
experience you're missing out on. It's really not. It's just not good. It literally is glorified toast. It wasn't even cinnamony. It just was like toast.
Good French toast is good though. Like just maybe not.
If it's like stuffed French toast or something like that, I'm about it. No pancakes. This is a debate. It was, Hannah. It was literally like, that was like, I love how that was the tipping point. Like that was it for me.
All right, look, we're on sprints. We're gonna read one more time.
All right, let's do it.
But when do you need to go? I don't want to like take too much of your time.
Well, my husband said he's leaving now from Buffalo Wild Wings, which he did not tell me he was going, and he did not get me carry out, but it's fine. He's coming home now, and if he does,
strike two,
strike two, strike three. Literally, it was so. I back to forgiveness, man. We gotta forgive him. It's so funny because even today he was like, "Do you want me to drive to the store and get this?" And Wendy probably wondered. Because I left my house like right before she came over this morning, and I left my house right before she came. And he was like, "Do you want me to drive the store?" And I was like, "No, I will drive myself." But yeah, let's read. I can stay on. I would say like I'm good till whenever you want to be done.
Okay. Well, because I know like when we come back, if you need to go, like you're just gonna have to remember when you need to go. I'm good for whatever, but
yeah, I'm honestly like I don't have any plans. I'm good too. People are weighing in on all of the food. Cracker Barrel, my favorite. Yes, they're very good.
Hi, Shauna. She's chopping it on the pancake.
Hi, I like the specialty ones. I do too. Like. You would think though that after the thing he created, the mess he created, he would at least bring me wings. Like, dude, bring the girl wings.
All right, we're gonna read for a long time to give Leah a chance to simmer down.
I love how I'm like preaching forgiveness, and then I'm like,
and then you're like, and oh my goodness, he didn't even bring me Buffalo Wild Wings. I didn't break my car.
I just have to. It's so funny because I have to just get back to forgiveness and practice what I preach, but I'm just venting. I have forgiven him. I'm just venting because it's fun and because I need to.
All right, we're gonna read till 45. That'll give everybody a long enough sprint, hopefully, to get a good chunk of reading in, and then we'll come back and close it out. But you never know how long that's gonna take. So preach your forgiveness came from a place of conviction. Yeah.
It does all the time.
You could have forgiven him, big bro. I could not.
Or pancakes.
All right, y'all. Let's read. See y'all at 45 after.
Okay.
Well, did we get some reading done?
What'd you say?
I said, did we get some reading done?
So I was reading, this is really random, Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. I never finished it. I started it when I went to see Riley Sager, but I never finished it. And so I've been reading
a year ago.
I know. It's really bad. So, well, to be fair, Wendy also, I think, just finished it not long ago. We just got so distracted because we were like doing so many other things. But I'm really liking it. It's giving like 90s nostalgic sleepover in the backyard on the trampoline vibes, you know. I really like it a lot. It's definitely like, I don't know, it's a little slow. I don't know if you've read it. Have you read it?
Yeah, I DNF'd it at like 80%.
80%? Really?
I just didn't care. And then I asked Gwen like what happened, and she told me, and I was like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, that's like
definitely loved it. So
yeah, that's really good. I think that, well, it's not good. I think that that's just really sad because I had such high hopes for his book, and I feel like everything that he writes is really good. And I'm definitely wanting this to just be one that I can rate high, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, Wendy loved it, so you may.
It's definitely supernatural, I think, in a way. Is that what you're, okay. Is that why you DNF'd it?
No, I was bored. He just doesn't write. He's not writing like he used to, and that bothers me because, like, I'm not saying that what he's writing is bad, but I have a certain level of expectation for what I want from him after reading The Only One Left and Home Before Dark and stuff like that. So when he doesn't provide that and it's just more mystery versus thriller, I don't care because that's not what I want him to write.
Yeah, I do notice a shift in his writing, and I wonder if With a Vengeance is going to be the same way. I haven't read it yet, but I do think that, I don't know, his like writing is different than it used to be. It's almost like more Agatha Christie-ish.
With a Vengeance, I gave 3 stars.
Okay, yeah.
It is very like classic murder mystery. And there's nothing wrong with it. It wasn't bad. I just didn't care. It's not what I want from him.
Yeah, it just doesn't have his flair, I guess. I feel like he maybe is trying to be like the greats and kind of like model his style after what's already been.
What he said at the event that me and Hannah and April went to is that he's like his past couple of books, so his most recent and then last year, he was trying to like kind of push the boundaries of the box, like widen the box that people have put him in without going completely outside of it. And it's just kind of been something he's wanted to do. And then he also, I think the word he used was derivative, but I don't remember. It was a D word. But he said like back when he wrote The House Across the Lake, he was like, everybody just thought I was really, and I don't know if derivative is a word, but he's like, he was like, everybody was just saying this about me. And he was like, so I was like, fine, if you think I'm this, then here's this book. And like,
he wrote something completely off of his normal.
Yeah.
I think he, like you said, it was like really out of the box. Yeah. And he also wrote, I think that The Middle of the Night, wasn't that his first male perspective?
Yeah.
That's why it's
so, I mean, it's just, he's trying different things. I think he's planning to get back to what he's written. But my thing is, what I've noticed with him is like, one, I know what he writes at his best, in my opinion, or his best for me. And that's what I want. But also I've noticed that like the only reason I like his books is because of the plot. I don't like his characters.
No,
I mean, they're fine, but like, that's not what I'm there for. Versus like Sally Hepworth, I'm there for the characters. So if I'm not interested in the plot, I'm not going to like the book. And if you're not going to give me crazy twists and all this stuff, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah. No, I understand. Actually, I thought of you today. A girl I was talking to was like, I love Sally Hepworth. She's really, really good. I agree. I feel like you have to balance it out very well. And I don't know. I just feel like his turn that he took, he just focuses on stupid things in his new books that are just not exciting. Like there's one scene in the new one, The Middle of the Night. Well, that's not new.
It's new, last year.
New-ish. He like focuses on like one thing for so long. And I'm like, can we just move on?
Yeah.
So I just think it's like, it's almost like he lacks creativity a little bit. So I hope he can get back to his regular writing.
Well, he does have to write a book a year. And he says that he never runs out of ideas, but I mean,
that would tax any
good ideas.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that would be really hard. I can't even imagine coming up with that much content. Like that would be overwhelming to me.
Yeah.
So
He says like he starts writing in January and he has to have his draft turned in like I think September, like 9 months. It takes him 9 months to write a book and then it goes through editing and then by December it's ready for like it has to be completely done by December to go out in like May or like how his books normally go out.
that makes sense. I did plug in my charger. Yeah, I just feel like it's okay, but I do want to read it because it's been such a long time, and I went to like special release and met him and everything, and so,
you may end up loving it.
Yeah, I do. Like I sometimes it's so funny because like I have this like big expectation for all books. Like I want it to be really thrilling and exciting, but I actually sometimes I think I need mundane and like really kind of boring or whatever to counteract how much excitement I usually have in my life and read. So
yeah, that's good.
We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I didn't read anything from the God book that we've been reading just because I want to take my time, kind of like rush through it, and also I want to go back and kind of make sure I have all of my notes and quotes that I want to put into the chapter rundown. So
sounds good. Yeah, I read more in Redemption, and I mean it's crazy to me. It's such a basic story, okay? Like I mean, there's drama, but it's like contemporary. So it's so funny to me how I can just like be so engrossed in this drama, you know?
Yes.
So I'm on chapter 16. I'm on page 177. So I read maybe like, I don't know, 30 page. I don't feel like I read that much, but there's also, I mean, there's not a lot of words on the page, but like it just takes me a while.
I love when a book is like that it doesn't have I feel like we just talked about her. Oh my gosh. What is the author that say you'll remember me? What do you call? What's her name? Oh my gosh. Yes. So she doesn't have a lot of writing on her pages either, which I like.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
I technically only have this much left because this is like additional information in chapters. So I don't have too much, but I'm reading it slow, which I'm enjoying, but I'm also like, I was going to start, what's the book called? The Words We Lost this week or like Thursday or Friday with Jordan. And I'm like, but I'm like, that book's going to wreck me because it's about this girl who is grieving the loss of her best friend. I'm like, I'm going to die.
Really hard. Oh my gosh. Like,
yeah, but there's other stuff too. Like there's going to be a love story and all that stuff. So I really hope I enjoy that book. So
yeah, I hate reading it's so funny though. Like reading about grief is hard, but I feel like
I love it.
That's all I pick, but that's like all I pick up anymore. I don't know how it happens, but like, well, even the book Middle of the Night, he like, I mean, it's not really a spoiler that like his best friend is like lost and he's grieving the loss of his friend like his entire life. And like, it's just crazy. Like every book I read has like an aspect of grief. And I'm like, this is good. It's like exposure therapy. You know, you read about it, then like, it's not as crazy when you try to process it. But yeah, like a really good book about like grief where it hits home. It's like such a cathartic experience because then I just cry.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's hard to get through to, especially if it's about a friend. I can't imagine losing.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how that's going to go. And it's a longer book than I thought it was going to be. So I'm like, I don't know how long this is going to take for me to get through, but
for sure.
And again, I need to get the next book in this series because I want to continue this.
Yeah. So, it's like, it's just, I think that I have such a hard time because like, there's so many books I want to read and then I like start one and then I get distracted by another one and another one. And it's like a never ending process. So we just dabble all month long in books.
All right. How did everybody else do? That was our last sprint. Sorry, we were so chatty tonight, but at least we got 2.
I actually
I'm not sorry. We were chatty.
I'm not sorry either.
We had church.
Yes.
But if you were here for reading, I hope your cup was filled with Jesus, but also, we
were here for chatting. Your cup was definitely full.
Yeah. And Hannah's probably long gone by now, but we love you.
Yeah, she goes to bed at like 10 or like 9:30.
Yeah. April got 10% more into Bake Borrow or Steal. Awesome. Hi, Savannah. You're reading The God I Won't Believe In by Nick Cady. Oh, goodness.
Sounds like
You
a controversial title.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of that one or that author, but thanks for joining us. I'm sorry that you joined in like while we were ending, but
yeah, I definitely want to like look up that author. I'm interested.
I got lost in evil and Trisha. Her in this book.
Her in the book. I think that she's enjoying it though. Like,
yeah,
she describes it all.
I also picked up some books from the library for my parents to read. Out of the stack of 5, my dad chose The Good Sisters. I told him it's not. Wait, is that The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth?
That's Sally Hepworth.
Because she said sisters, but The Good Sister is it. So let me know if it's the Sally Hepworth.
The Good Sisters. It probably. I would imagine it would be The Good Sister. We were just talking about
so
that.
good.
I have the Good Sister. I think. Is that the one where it's like there's like a garden scene on the front?
Yeah.
Okay, I have that one, and I think Wendy has another one I need to borrow. But I've heard that she's really good. I mean, from you and then from everyone else. But I've also
my favorites are it's Keisha's fault. Okay, but also, and I'm not trying to sound sexist, but he's a man, and it might not be a man book. You know, like some men can read like romance and girly pop books and they love them and eat them up.
Mhm.
And some men, especially like the dad books, they're like Dan Brown, James Patterson, Harlan Coben.
Yes.
Not that anybody else can't read those, but there's
I love
certain
Harlan Coben.
and Stephen King, and not that other people, because other people do read them, but those are the dad books in my head.
Oh my gosh, I have a friend who is a guy who literally already your fault. That's so funny. I have a guy who's a friend who loves to read like romantasy and who loves to read like, in my opinion, like girly-ish books. Like he was like so excited to read Spark of the Everflame, and also was reading Tog at one point. I'm trying to think of what else he read. I can't. Butcher and Blackbird, just like all kinds of crazy.
Like Josh, he reads romance and like he's like, this is so cute. I love this. I'm like, I love that a man can appreciate these books.
I do too. I actually wish more men read romance books because I feel like it just gives such great insight to like the mind of a woman. Speaking of romance books, I think it's like the 1st of August that my favorite book has made a Netflix premiere appearance.
Oh, is it my Oxford
Year by Julia Wayland? It is like literally my dream. Listen to how kismet this is. It comes out the day before my birthday.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
I hope it's good. I hope it doesn't disappoint you.
I hope it doesn't either, because it was really high up on my healing process. Like reading that book was so quick after I lost my dad. Like literally, I think like 4 months after, maybe less. Yeah. And it was just really fresh. And so I just hope that it also lives up to the hype because it was so good. Oh my gosh. That book, give it a chance. It like starts as kind of like this. You think it's going to be about her and her dad and like their relationship, but then it goes into like this amazing romance. Hi there, little Barbie.
She is about to get on my nerves in this chair. She wants to lay in ways that like is just not giving me room, of course. So
that's so funny. So I went over to Ellie's little friend's house today, and they had a dog named Paisley, and that dog was like so like wanting to be up on your lap and love on you and lay in your lap. It was so cute and made me miss my dog Bullet.
Aww.
But I love dogs that are just like really cuddly. It's so nice. My cat is getting that way. He used to not be cuddly, and now I feel like after my other cat died, Pork, he wants to like cuddle all the time, but he's really wanting affection on his own terms. So it's like gotta be in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. Yeah. Then he comes and lays directly on my chest. And I've said this before in friends, he's like 20 pounds. So then I'm like dying. Oh my gosh. Speaking of dying.
Your brain goes this word, and it goes to
I have a story I have to tell you. You'll think it's so funny.
And I'm listening. I'm just also laughing at how you're connecting.
It's like a pinball machine. I went to a birthday party this weekend. That was a swimming party. Mm-hmm. I do not like swimming. Fun fact. I like being
But you go to the pool all the time.
I do. I go to tan. I don't really go to swim. My kids, they like to swim and all that. So, but I went to this pool party and like I have not actually been swimming to like its full effect in probably like 10 or 12 years. So then I get in this, my friend's like, all the adults are getting in the pool. We're going to play this game. We're going to play like the sharks and minnows game. And so basically, have you ever played Midnights in a pool?
I may have played this game before. Explain it to me.
Okay, so people start on one side of the pool. You're in the middle on the deep end. Yeah. They all jump in, and you're responsible to like you're it, and you have to catch everyone. Yeah. And like when you do, then they are it with you, and then the people who made it across come back over. So I'm like treading water in 9 feet deep water for like 15 minutes because I'm the first one that's like caught.
You're the shark.
I wasn't even the shark. I was the first one caught on every round. So I'm it, right? With the other person, with the other shark. So I'm like swimming. I get this Charlie horse in my leg. That is like the worst of my entire life. And for about 10 seconds, I thought I was going to actually drown and need to be saved by the lifeguard. I was in the middle of the pool and my whole left side of my body stopped working. I was getting a cramp in my back. A Charlie horse.
Terrifying.
Yes. And have you ever been around other people when you've been in like chronic pain and you're trying to downplay it? And I'm like, it's like, it was so painful. I just swim across with like one arm and one leg.
Oh my gosh,
the most embarrassing thing. And I don't think people understand how painful a Charlie horse really is. Like it legit, your leg seizes up and stops working. Yeah. It was so bad, but it just made me think like, man, I gotta get back into working out. If a pool party game takes me down. And it was so funny because after that, I was like laying on this floaty and I was just dead to the world. I had expended all of my energy. You probably never seen me tired. I was tired at this pool party. I'm like floating around like lifeless for half an hour.
Oh my goodness.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
But have you ever been like getting Charlie horses at the swimming?
I don't know if I have had a Charlie horse, like a full on, I don't remember. I don't think I've had quite that extent of one. Like I've had cramps, but I don't think I've had.
It was like debilitating. It's probably because I don't drink enough water.
Yeah,
I hate water. Are you a big water drinker? I don't think you are you? Oh, you're one of those.
I only drink water, and I drink hot tea or coffee on occasion, or matcha. But I drink whenever I like anywhere I go. If I'm going out to eat, I get water. But that's been a thing since I've been an adult. Like as a child, my mom made sweet tea all the time, so I had sweet tea with every meal. And we also kept sodas. So I would have like Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper. Those were my sodas. I also love root beer. But now Olipop has a root beer, which some people would say tastes like a flat root beer. I don't really care. It still tastes good to me, so I'll drink that. But most of the time I'm drinking water because it's important to stay hydrated.
This is true. But I think the hardest thing about, and if people don't know this about me, and I complained forever about having a hoarse like throat and like having a hoarse voice, I actually got diagnosed with like having nodules, vocal nodules. Yeah. And so one of the things I had to do, and everybody knows me, they know I love Dr. Pepper so much. It's like I was having like 3 of them.
Are you going to have surgery?
No, not hopefully.
It's giving Pitch Perfect. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. And they're like, my nose.
And then she can sing low after she got this low.
So that's what's so bad is that every person I've talked to about this makes the Pitch Perfect like reference. And when
that's the only thing I know it from. I would have never known about it.
And when I was talking to my speech therapist, she said that if people do have to have the surgery, they do have a lower voice afterwards. So can you imagine if it's like talking like this all the time? Like, I don't want that, you know? So I have to like not drink any soda. I haven't had Dr. Pepper for over a month. I haven't had any soda for over a month. And it's actually funny because my mom even noticed, she's like, I feel like you look thinner. And I'm like, probably because
soda is just one of the worst things for you. It really is.
It really is. Like, well, specifically if you stop drinking soda, you'll see it in your face. Your face will deflate. And so that's like really good. that my face isn't poofy, but like sugar in general just makes that happen. But no, as far as I know right now, I don't have to have surgery. I have to continue on with speech therapy. And like, if they check in and they see like that they've gone away or they're lesser or whatever, that's good. But if they think
is like talking less part of the treatment, because if so, I'm not confident.
No, actually, I told my speech therapist, I said, listen, I cannot not talk. Like, it's just, it's not happening. And she said, you know, it's going to be fine. Basically, it is so hilarious. I have to like, it's almost like I'm like singing, like I have to do singing and vocal exercises in speech therapy. And it's like retraining your voice. This is hilarious. And this is how it was described. Do you know when women lift and their neck gets really thick?
Yeah.
Like if you have a vocal injury, more muscles in your neck will start to constrict to like bring support to your vocal cords. And so your neck will actually start using muscles it's not supposed to. So therefore your neck actually gets like wider and stouter, and those muscles start to like once you've activated them, they almost can't like not be activated. So you actually have to, it's like a speech pathology thing. You have to retrain your brain to stop triggering this muscle. That's crazy. Which has been really hard for me because I spoke over top of my hoarseness for like months. So it's just like been a weird process.
Well, and you're able to heal from it.
Yeah. I think that like it's a lot better than it was, but it's so weird. Like if I go through, like I talked about the pool party, we were like yelling out like colors and numbers and things like that. If I have to yell at all, it like hurts my throat. It's so weird.
Does it hurt you to sing?
No. So funny enough, whenever you sing, your vocal cords, like the muscles in your neck, that you don't use the same muscles, and she described it in a way that like when you're talking, your vocal cords hit together, but when you're singing, they vibrate slightly. So they don't smash together. They go like this. So she said it's like a different process. So singing isn't actually that bad for you. But if you're like, obviously, if you're trying to hit a register that's not good, basically, if you're trying to sing without proper airflow, then that's when they would hit rougher and harder. So you have to like, you have to kind of like also work on your airflow and all that. So she made me put like a tissue in front of me and sing to where the tissue would flow. It was hilarious.
Yeah. My biggest issue has always been like, I didn't know until I was older that it's really important to sing like from your diaphragm and like breathe, like use your lungs to sing. And I like, it honestly it sounds better when you do that, but I just always sang from like my throat, and that's not good for you.
Yeah, it's really hard to relearn. And it's also like, if anyone's singers out there listening, you almost have to like over enunciate with your mouth to let the air out. Cause I think everyone just tries to sing from their diaphragm and they don't open their mouth enough. So this has been like a new season for me, learning like, wow, there are right and wrong ways to talk and right and wrong ways to lift your voice and all this stuff. And goodness knows that didn't stop me from going to more concerts.
I know, when you were like when your voice was really bad, and like it was like a week later you went to another concert, and I was like, Leah, this is not good for you.
Like, me and concerts do not mix. And then I'm going to another one on the 17th with Wendy. We're going to go see Brandon Lake and Phil Wickham and Josiah Queen.
Oh, I'm so upset about, well, not so upset, but I'm like sad that like I was going to go with Jordan, but we didn't get tickets in time and they sold out so quick.
You were going to go to probably one near you.
Yeah, no, not the one near you. We were going to go to the one near us. But yeah, and so now she's like, oh, well, we can just go see Brandon Lake in October. But now I'm like, are we going to get tickets in time? because she's like, you know, like money and different stuff like that. And just
his tickets sell out fast.
I'm sure that he's probably already sold out. Let me look.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, so funny. I bet no one's here. We're just talking to her.
There's 7 people here.
Oh, I was going to say, we're just chatting.
There's 5 people here now.
Wait,
up there.
Everybody can wait.
It's okay. We do need that. We'll probably get off though.
Anyone who's still here, what is your favorite Brandon Lake song? Right now, off his new album, I think my favorite song is probably Daddy's DNA or The Half Has Not Been Told.
I actually am not a big fan of his new album.
Nobody is. And I'm not super.
There's a couple songs that I like, but
my kids are wrestling. Sorry. You probably hear
you're
the
fine. Well, like one of this. Okay, first of all, I'm not knocking the song That's Who I Praise, but it's been on another album, has it not? Or it's been like, and I'm like, why is it on this one?
So I do feel like he's like outfit repeating, but with songs. I feel like he's just putting like older songs. Like I Know a Name was already recorded with Elevation. Like, although I love the CeCe Winans one, but like, why did it have to be on this album? I don't know.
Yeah. So I haven't like loved anything by him since I think which I have a weird. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not an album girl. I'm a song girl. I'm also not an artist girl. I'm a song girl.
Yeah, so I can agree to that.
I like his songs, like Don't You Give Up on Me was one that I really liked. I mean, obviously Gratitude was the one where I like learned about
Gratitude is like his breakout song.
Yeah. And what's the one I really like the song Just Like Heaven, because when he goes high, and I know I'm not supposed to be worried about him, we're singing about Jesus, but I'm like, no, sir, like you singing. Woo,
yes, it's chilling. It's so good. I agree. I love when he goes high. I love his earliest album, Just Like Heaven. Yeah. I think that is probably one of my favorites. On his new album, if you get a chance to listen, King of Hearts. I know that's the self-titled album. Like, I mean, I know that's the title, but that song is really good. I don't think I've ever listened to a song written from the Thief on the Cross's perspective, only just about him, but not from his perspective. That is a good one. Hold on one second. Let me tell them I'm on a sprint because they're just up there being loud.
It's okay.
They're like up there. Tyler's like wrestling with them. Tyler just got back. He drove his motorcycle home in the middle of the night. And I'm like, that's not safe.
The only songs, so like, I don't dislike the only songs that I'm like add to playlist. Okay. Which some of these, like Hard Fought Hallelujah has been out for a long time. So I like that one.
Actually like that song at all.
I like it, but I don't resonate with it the same way.
Yeah, I do. Like, I like it, but I just also feel like for me, it's just gravelly and like, I don't know. And
he's doing like different genres on this album. So, that's fine. And I don't dislike, I don't know. I just don't like, okay, so Sevens, is it like, I'm like, but then I'm like, but you don't need to be doing this song. Like somebody else in that genre needs to do this.
The Sevens kind of reminds me, have you ever listened to the group Disciple?
Yeah.
That's Christian. It kind of reminds me of like a Disciple song. Like, I kind of felt like he was feeling like heavy metalish or whatever. Yeah. It just does not. I agree. It's not his brand. It's very off brand. So it's like, you go to somewhere and you get like the knockoff brand of whatever. It's kind of, it feels like that. It's just
the only two songs that I like really like and have listened to a couple times. There's only one that I've listened to like multiple times outside of, I don't know. Okay. So I really like As For Me in My Home, which is such like the calmest country Christian song, but I love Gabby Barrett and I love them together. And it just, after I listened to the song, like after I listened to the album for one day, just one time through, the next day, that song was in my head. And I was like, this is just a good song.
Everybody got so mad at him because on an Instagram story or something, he was like, King of Hearts is getting a queen. And they're like, you're married. You shouldn't be calling anyone else a queen and all this stuff. And I'm like, can we just not do that? I really like The Half Has Not Been Told. I think that's the name of it on his new album.
Yeah, it is.
The Half Has Not Been Told. I also really like I said, Daddy's DNA and King of Hearts, the like original song. The rest of them, I just kind of feel like I could have done without. And some of them, honestly, like, when you listen to a CD and there's filler songs and then there's like main title tracks, like Taylor Swift, she has a lot of filler songs on Evermore. I just kind of felt like most of them were like that. I was like, it just felt like it was thrown together in like 5 minutes. Kind of like everybody is hating on Benson Boone. Have you heard about all that drama?
Yeah, I hate it for him because I do feel like he is being treated like an industry plant. And I do prefer his first album to any album because I feel like that was when he was who he is at his core, when
Yeah.
he was doing his ballads and showcasing his vocal range and like his
Mhm.
art. And I do feel like that his music execs that are with him have like made a gimmick out of him. And I think that's fine to an extent, but I think that I just wonder how much of this is actually who he is.
Yeah.
Unless he just evolved, and maybe he has, but
Yeah, I do feel like they changed him from being kind of like an artist with depth to being like a teeny bopper, like
yes.
make all your songs sound like a fun, exciting, like
And they're fun to listen to. Like I have 5 of them on my playlist, and I love listening to them. But they aren't deep, like you said.
Like Coffee. I love Coffee Cake. I love Mystical, Magical, and Electric Blue.
Yeah,
but they're also just kind of like they don't have like honestly, if you listen to them, they don't mean anything really. So I kind of feel like
it's just a fun song.
Yeah, there's also another one that's like, oh, what is it? Maybe it is the Mystical, Magical, but what's the one where he's like, oh, I'm here for somebody else? That one.
Yeah, I like that one. Oh, so okay, actually I have 6 on here. I forgot. I added that before his album came out. So yeah, sorry, I'm here for someone else.
Yeah, I like that one too. So I feel like that was like the last song I feel like he really wrote. That he's a storyteller.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like these new songs are not like that. That's another thing I guess I could say about Brandon Lake's new album is all the songs just feel like kind of like they're trying to mimic other things he's done and they're not very deep, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because Brandon Lake is also like all about the ballads and I actually just like most of the stuff he does with Elevation even more. And how is Stacey Winans everywhere?
I don't like. Well, now I have 2 things to say. Number one is I've never been. Well, I won't say never. I generally, for most years of my life, have not been a huge Elevation fan, musically or otherwise. But like the only time that I did like their music was like, there's some that I like, but it doesn't move me. Not that that's the point, but it doesn't. But it is when I just want to listen to it. It doesn't move me the same way that it used to. But I will say that Bethel's doesn't either. And Bethel used to be like my bread and butter, like all of it. And there's still some with Bethel, but generally they don't anymore.
Yeah.
But back when Elevation was writing, like, hold on, I don't know what year it was, but I have on my. Hold on, let me switch accounts on my YouTube so I can see what I'm talking about. But while I'm looking at this, the other thing I was going to say, I'm not a CeCe Winans fan. I know everybody in like this like contemporary Christian is, but like I don't know, like something. I don't know anything, but something about her doesn't sit right with me.
I do feel like she has an odd presence. Like I do feel. Like, I don't know. She just kind of seems like she would be like hard to know. Like there's just something about her demeanor that's a little bit off to me. I agree with you. But it's almost like she looks angry when she's singing too. I don't know. But I do like her. I do like a lot of her music. Like her one album from a long time ago, Throne Room, was really good.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of harder with
to this.
Oh yeah. I have heard that one. It is very good. I like it a lot.
So I have like an old worship collective playlist of songs. So this was like, I don't know how many years ago of songs that I liked. And I think some of these were Elevation songs. Hold on. There's a lot of Bethel songs on here. Man, I wish they made music like they used to.
I know they really don't anymore. When what's her name? What's the girl's name whose daughter passed away?
Callie oh my gosh, Callie Hagelin.
How do you say her last name? It's so hard.
I have to read it. I'd have to see it to
she
say
was
it.
One of my favorite leaders because I just felt like she was authentic.
So okay, For the Honor, if that's like the older song, In Fullness.
Yeah.
I liked those songs. There's another song that's like
Where Wind Meets Fire should be on your playlist, like right now. Where Wind Meets Fire is the best song ever from Elevation.
I need to write that down.
The atmosphere is changing now. Yes. April, that is my favorite album, Heroes in Heaven. It is my favorite Elevation.
Yeah.
And you know what's so funny is that the entire album, I played it whenever I was pregnant and had just delivered Addie. So every song on it was basically her lullaby to go to sleep because I would just play it all the time on my
Unstoppable God.
Yes.
Like that era of Elevation, that's when I really liked their music. Give Me Faith was like a song that I sang all the time growing up, which I know it's not like the best.
I love that song. So a lot of people don't know this, but I've like looked really into Elevation. And so whenever the main leader, Mac Brock, left Elevation, most of the songs started to be collaborated with Stephen Furtick, the pastor. So whenever Mac Brock left, all of those classic songs were like he wrote them. And so all the new songs predominantly were written by Stephen Furtick and Chris Brown and one other person, I forget the name, Jacob something, Jacob Suter, I think. So like if you look into it, you see like a shift kind of like in their music. And
that says a lot. I'm not going to lie. Like this, that says a lot.
Yeah. So like their music really did shift. But I will say that like their recent album, I think it's actually called Where Wind Meets Fire, is very, very good. Hallelujah.
I know Wendy was telling me that y'all like Tiffany Hudson.
We love her. We absolutely do. Like 99% of them are Stephen Furtick. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of them now, I will say, so here's the fun thing that you can see. This is the shift, right? Stephen Furtick started writing, I believe, on Hallelujah, Her Below, which was, I think, the first album they made without Mac Brock. But then when Tiffany Hudson came on the scene, and I think that she came on the scene around Graves into Gardens era, she started writing more songs with the team. And I truly believe the songs that she is also writing on are like the best songs.
The fact that you know these album titles, like I'm following you, like I'm like, good Lord, she knows these.
Yeah, Hallelujah Her Below, I actually went to their release concert for that album, and it was like really, really good.
Dude, do they not even have their flipping album from before on here? There's like a Hispanic one in Spanish, and then the acoustic sessions. I said acoustic.
I just did it too. The acoustic sessions are, I think, with Tiffany Hudson. The Spanish album is done by the guy who sings You Are the Same God. It's actually
the acoustic ones from 2017 still have some of the old ones that I like on it. That like the Altar Fullness, Here As in Heaven. I don't love Do It Again, but that was
the Latino couple on the stage. I believe they're Latino, I think. Yeah, they are. I forget his name and I forget her name, but they're both married. They're the ones on the stage. They do the Spanish album, and I met her. So I was actually coming from the bathroom, and she at the concert, and she actually like said that the bathroom backstage was full, so she came to the public bathroom, and I got to meet her and take a picture with her and talk to her. It was so fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, but whenever we went to Elevation concert, the one that wrecked my voice, Tiffany Hudson, I felt so sad because she wasn't feeling well. Like we found out like on Instagram, she wasn't feeling well that night, and you can kind of tell because she really wasn't like in it. And then I watched back all of their like concerts that they had done in different cities, and I'm like, they're so much better. Like, boo. I love Do It Again. It was a really good song. I will say that it's like, it can get repetitive and kind of, it's a little lyrically boring. But have you ever heard the Jesus I Come? Like, Jesus I Come. In that bridge, it's like, thank you, Jesus, just as I am, I come. That is like my favorite bridge ever.
Yeah.
I love it. So good. But yeah, if you haven't like listened to Where Wind Meets Fire, that's definitely like their major.
I don't know if I've listened to all of it. I'll listen to some more of it. But I did look up Tiffany Hudson the other day when Wendy was talking about her, because she said, what was the song that she was talking about you liked?
At the Altar?
No, it was a different one. Well, but we were talking about I was like looking for songs about like the character of God.
Names.
Yeah, that's it.
Names say it all. Yeah.
Well, there's another one that is it Yahweh?
Yeah, it's no, Yahweh is.
But I have Names on my playlist, but Names is the one that Wendy gave me. But she said, oh, also Leah really likes this song.
Is it
I
Forever
feel like it was
Yahweh?
Yahweh, but maybe it wasn't.
Forever Yahweh is like Adonai El Shaddai.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Forever Yahweh. Yeah, I like that one too. We could just names is good. I really like it.
Yeah.
I would say Tiffany Hudson, when she sang Available and On, I think if you go to like their album release, like watch them on YouTube, Tiffany Hudson for like the first time, I think ever on their concert sets, they don't really do any talking in the middle of the song because if you know it's live recorded, right? So
Yeah.
she was the first person I think to break the mold of how they perform because she in the middle of a song being recorded starts worshiping from her heart and going off script and talking, and that's usually not something that they do historically. So that was like a cool moment for them. And when they brought Brandon, I swear to you, Bethel did not make Brandon Lake famous. It was Graves into Gardens. After that song, he became famous. It's true. Like his, and nobody did not watch that music video because he was amazing. And it was like his,
I remember, I think, did Graves into Gardens come before Gratitude? Or do you know?
I kind of feel like it
May
did not.
I think I may have heard Graves into Gardens before, but I didn't love that song. Not saying it's not good. I just don't jive with certain sounds, and I didn't like
So
I don't like when he sings gravelly.
No, I don't either, actually. And that's one of my issues with Hard Fought Hallelujah. Oh my gosh, just this is random. This is super random. Speaking of gravelly, so Jojo Siwa, I'm all following it because
Goodness, Leah.
listen, you have
I know the drama.
so
About
you
people
know
saying, I thought you were this. You can't date a man.
you know the drama. So her voice is so gravelly and her new album or her new song, I'm legitimately like, mark my words, she has vocal muscles. Like I can hear it when she sings. Like it's gonna come out.
She's always had that voice though. She's always had a gravelly voice. Like when she was on Dance Moms, I think.
Yeah, that's true. She has, but it's gotten so much worse. So like I don't like when someone does the breaky gravelly sound and she does it in her new song. But see, when Brandon Lake does it, it sounds good, but also it shreds your voice. It's so bad for your voice. Like it sounds painful to me. April says they both came out in 2020.
Yeah. I just know that I think I heard Graves into Gardens first, but I didn't know that it was him. I didn't know who he was.
I feel like no one knew who he was until
Gratitude is where I found out who he was.
Oh, that's okay. So April says Graves into Gardens was May 2020 and Gratitude was
okay, so they were very close.
But wasn't Gratitude on his first album self-titled or not self-titled, Just Like Heaven? Wasn't it on there?
No. Let's see.
I have a new, hold on. I actually have a new singer that would be really, really cool. Everybody would really like.
Well, House of Miracles came out with that song on it, but they released singles before they released the album. So it was probably one of the singles.
This is true. I'm trying to find, okay. There is a new person I found who is a very good worship leader, and he is not widely known at all. His name is Phil King, and he is absolutely phenomenal. There's a song, it's called When I Think About the Lord. It's like a worship set that he does from Fresh Wind Church.
Mm-hmm.
He sings like Brandon Lake, but like the gospel version, like I don't know, more gospel-y organ playing kind of version. It's really, really good.
Interesting. Okay.
Now that we've gone through the discography of every worship artist we know.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and end it because we've been here for 3.5 hours. And
how many people do we still have watching?
5. I mean, some people are really interested in our conversation. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being interested. Thank you.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
From church to talking about all of our cinematic or discomatic.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody have a good night. We will have discussion on Knowing God on the 29th, question mark, is that right? Yeah. So 3 weeks from today. Same time, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Leah's time, which is Eastern.
It's so funny because I forgot about our time change, and it actually helped me get to the sprint on time because I was like telling my friend, I got to get out. I got to be home by 7.
Yeah. Just remember, I'm always an hour before you.
Yes.
So if it says 7, it means 8 your time.
Yeah. So it's not for you. It's like only 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky.
Look at you having this much energy still at 11:30, man.
You know what? No, I had
Leah, we got to end this lecture.
I had a decaffeinated latte, but it still had a lot of sugar.
Oh my goodness.
Right
I
before
believe it. All right. Well, y'all don't forget to pick up Knowing God and read along with us, and we'll chat about it on the 29th. And in the meantime, I hope you all have a great rest of your month, a good night, and we will see you all soon. Bye.
Bye.